Welcome to Lesson 4 of Learning HTML5 and CSS. Today we're going to talk about the basic structure of an HTML document, coding elements, tags, attributes, comments, and white space, and the CSS syntax, which is how to code CSS rule sets, basic selectors, and comments. Each HTML document consists of two parts, the doc type declaration, and this just lets it know that you're going to be using an HTML document, and a document tree, which starts with an HTML element. It marks the beginning and end of the HTML code, and this is considered the root element. The HTML always starts with one head element that provides information about the document, and the body element that gives it the structure and content of the document. And it's a good idea to save these as a template. That way you don't have to type these every time. When you do your elements and tags, as we've seen in each lesson, each tag is coded within a set of brackets, and the closing tag is like the opening tag but with a slash. The content includes everything that appears in between the opening and closing tags. For example, in the body, we'll code H1, which is heading, and we'll just put NSU demons. And then we'll end it with a backslash and an H1. That way it knows that this is ended. Some have no content. For example, there's a BR element, which is a break line, basically, and forces a line break. And this doesn't have to have an ending slash tag. So if you have paragraph, hey everyone, and then we'll put in a break. This is cool. And then we'll end the paragraph. And we'll go in and see what this looks like. Go in, go to the template, and you'll see where the line break has been put in. And we'll go back. And on the attributes, attributes are coded within the opening tag of an element within an empty tag. For each attribute, you code the attribute name, an equal sign, and the attribute value. Such as if we had, I'll go in and take my this is an attribute right here. We take that, we'll just copy it over to our template. We'll save it, and we'll go to template, and you'll see that the image is shown up. You can have more than one attribute in here. This is just the image one, and we'll go over how to insert images in later lessons. The next we have is our Boolean attribute, which represents an on and off value. And I'll put that in here. So we're going to put in a checkbox. We put in input type, and that equals checkbox. And then it'll say name and anything you want to name it. Here I have your equal sign, your quotations, and we'll just say yes, no. And then we'll put, this is the attribute value, we'll put it as checked. You can put it as unchecked, but it will show a checkbox. Go to our template, and you'll see the checkbox at the top of the screen. Go back here. The next thing we want to talk about is white space, which is just basically your return characters, your tabs. It just keeps everything in a neat order line and easy to read. The next thing you want to do is comment your code, which makes it easier for other people to read, and it also helps with testing. If you ever want to just not put something in, and it starts off with a bracket and an exclamation point and a dash dash, and you'll see that it's turned green. And to end it, you'll just put in a dash dash and a bracket. The HTML document, it will ignore this code. You will not see this in here. I'll show you on the template. You'll see now that nothing has shown up because I've commented everything out. comments is good practice for group projects also. That way the other person knows. The next thing we'll talk about is our CSS syntax. A CSS rule set consists of a selector and a declaration block. This is your selector. This will let the document know that it's going to affect the body, the whole body of the document. And it consists of an opening brace and a closing brace. It's very different from the HTML because you'll see it's got semicolons at the end of it. It consists of a property, a colon, a value, and a semicolon. As you can see with the font family, and then it's Arial, Helvetica, and sans serif. And we'll get into doing CSS documents or CMS sheets in later examples. As you'll see, I have this one loaded with this CSS document. And we'll go to our example. And you'll see that it was coded with the blue and the font that I picked out for it. We'll get into coding more in later lessons, more particulars in later lessons.